What's up, guys? Ricky here with another review on the Diamond Select Star Wars Chewbacca. This figure is actually pretty cool, so I didn't plan on really buying it, but for $9.98, why not, right? That's a pretty good price. So I do have a couple other ones like these here. So I do have the Boba Fett and the Darth Maul, so I will show those next to them. I wasn't planning on doing any more because, I mean, the Boba Fett was cool, the Darth Maul was okay, but the articulation wasn't the best. And, you know, I can add those to this video here so you can see what that's like because I haven't reviewed those yet. So I kind of passed on the Stormtrooper because I was kind of done, but for that price, it's pretty good. So now I'm kind of wanting to get a Stormtrooper, which is funny. So those are the only four I believe that Diamond Select has released as far as the Star Wars goes. So, you know, hoping a Darth Vader comes out. I'm surprised it hasn't been out yet, but pretty cool. But here we go in the package. You can see, can't see because there's a lot of plastic going on, so it's hard to see through it all. But you got Chewbacca. You got pretty cool belt there. Looks like it's brown. You got some silver highlights on it, which look nice. You do have a bag there, a satchel that looks like it is dark brown with a light brown dry brushed over the top to give it a leather look. You do have a nice little weapon there. Got some pretty cool things going on there. Another weapon. So it looks pretty nice. Here's the side of the package with some imagery. Here's the back of the package, and it tells you, a little bit more of what it comes with, which is nice. Then you have just some labeling there, nothing fancy. Diamond Select. And there's the other side with a logo of some type. So pretty cool. So let's open this up and see what we're looking at. Okay, here's Chewbacca out of the package, and it's not bad. So I'll talk about the gripes I have with it, but overall, let's look at the good things real quick. We'll look at some of the paint applications. The paint application and sculpt are really good. My biggest hindrance is the articulation. There's really one cool thing about the new packaging that Diamond Select does sometimes that I want to show off too. So this is the first one I've got with that type of packaging. But look real close. You get the little eyes there. Here, let me get a light up a little bit closer. But yeah, so you get some good textures, good details. Right, you have a black. They look like they painted over the brown, which looks pretty nice. So you can see there for sure. Right, so it's kind of dry brushed over there. So it gives some textures and details. It fades to a brown, and then the brown actually has a light beige color dry brushed over the top to really show off that fur. So that looks really nice. So you got cool Chewbacca eyes there. They did the same thing on the face, and on the top of the head, they actually took the beige up from just the brown and put it on the dark color too, just to add some differentiation. If it was me, I would put it on a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit more even, but I know it's, for the price of it, I mean, this was only $10, but I mean, even retails $29.99, I still think it's good paint application. So I'm not griping about that at all. But yeah, face looks pretty good. It looks just like the movie, in my opinion, right? You got really cool looking legs too. They did the same thing. You had the black brushed over the brown, so it shows a little bit of the base coat. And then they did the same thing on the feet and the legs. You have the cool crossbow here, which they just did a black, which when it comes back around, I'll show you. So it's black, and they did the lightest little bit of silver dry brushed over the top just to show off some of the textures and details. You can see that coming around. So not bad, not bad. And then you have this cool weapon here that's more like a shotgun style. So they did the same thing. They added browns, and they did black with a silver dry brushed over that as well. So it looks pretty good. And then we have this holster, which I'm actually a pretty big fan of. So I'll put it on him in just a second. This one has shotgun shells. That's pretty cool. So very neat. Okay, so let me change that real quick so you can see what that looks like. Okay, and here it is with the other vest. And the reason why I like that one better is this one falls off really easily just because of the neck piece there. So the head, kind of where the sculpt goes, he kind of has a lack of shoulders, so this kind of just slides off. So just FYI. So I think I like that one better. And then the shotgun is pretty cool. So he does hold that a little bit better than the weapon, this weapon there, crossbow. But there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is get into the articulation. And this is actually where I have the biggest gripes, and I'll tell you why. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's the cool packaging that I wanted to show you real quick. So what's neat is it comes in here, so you pull this out, and it's two-sided. But the cool thing is you just break the tape and open it up, and no wires, no ties, no nothing. It's just in a plastic shell, which I think is personally pretty cool. Like, I'm a huge fan of that because then you don't have to, you know, cut anything, untwist anything. So very cool idea. The only flaw is that you don't see the figure very cool inside in the display, but overall, very cool idea. So I did want to show that to you if you never had one of these before. I know they're doing that a lot with the new Star Wars. Also, I think they probably did the same, I would assume, with like the Lord of the Rings and the Pacific Rim ones. I would assume some of the newer models that aren't kind of like that big box packaging like their old stuff used to be, but very cool. Okay, so here we go. Here's the articulation. So the head, it is connected just here where the hair is. So it does not look down. It does not really look up. You don't get any pivot. Sorry, let me go a little lower here. You don't get any pivot. You do have a little bit of a rotation. It does rotate all around if you force it. So it's kind of limited there. The arms go up pretty easy, so you go at 90 degrees there, which is good. And they rotate really well there. You do have single jointed elbow with a rotation. So the only problem is that's as far as you can bend his arm. So it's really hard to get him in any action poses with the weapon. You do have some articulation here, which is very interesting. Not used to that. And it does have a little bit of rotation on the inside, so you can kind of rotate it a little bit here. And you do have wrist articulation as well, so not too bad. Now, biggest gripe, unfortunately, is the legs. So what happens is you have the sculpt that goes all the way down, and then his legs really should probably be more up here. So what happens is his legs articulate. I know they did that with the sculpt so you could get a 90 degrees. So you can get 90 degrees. You can get him kind of in the splits if you want to get him in the splits. You do have the knees go up. It's single jointed with rotation. So nothing too dynamic. And then you do have the feet, which unfortunately are kind of hindered. So you can go forward a little bit, back a little bit. There is pivot, but it's kind of hindered by all the detail there. But like I said earlier, when you look at this, so when you lift this up, right, you just have a super, super long body with these really short legs, which is really interesting. So if you get him into any, you know, like kind of more epic style poses, what happens is it just kind of looks a little odd. And you can tell me if I'm wrong, if you think it looks good, but like it kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting to me. So you're not going to get too many dynamic poses out of it for the most part. So the articulation is a little rough, unfortunately, just as far as action shots. But then again, right, Chewbacca is not known to be a dynamic character by any means. So it still looks good. And of course, standing and holding stuff is going to be just fine. So let's get into size comparison. We'll compare with the other Star Wars select figures. Okay, here we go with the size comparison. So obviously Chewbacca is in the middle. To the right, we have Darth Maul, who goes about to the shoulder of Chewbacca. To the left, we have Boba Fett, which also goes to about the shoulder. If you go to the far, far right, we have the Vision, who stands about the same height as Darth Maul. If you go all the way to the far left, you have a NECA Armored Lost Predator. And as you can tell, Armored Lost Predator stands about the same height as Chewbacca. And then behind him, we have the Marvel Select Red Hulk, Chewbacca goes to about the chin, maybe a little under on the Red Hulk. So for size, so we have about 8 inches, maybe 8¼ inches. So which leaves us with about 20.5 centimeters. So, and then the rest of the figure, so Darth Maul is around 7 inches tall. So, and then the rest are going to be about the same as far as the Vision goes and Boba Fett. So as far as height goes, I think it fits in really good with the other Diamond Select and fits in well with, I think, any of your other figures, because I would assume, right, it seems pretty fair that Chewbacca is probably about the size of a Predator. So very cool there. Okay, so like I said, let's do a quick little review here. So, because I've not reviewed this one yet. So Darth Maul. So let's take a look. So right, so it came with obviously pretty good face sculpt. The only thing is I wish we would have got. Here we go. Let's see if we can see this a little better. Okay, so pretty good face sculpt, like the eyes. Not too bad. I think there's been better face sculpts in my opinion, but overall pretty good. You got the horns there that look nice. You have obviously the cloak, and the outfit looks just like it did in the movies. However, with this one, we also have articulation issues, so this plastic is so thick that you really can't get his legs spread out at all. And right, and the thing is like, whereas Chewbacca is more of a stationary character, Darth Maul is definitely a dynamic character, so it's really tough because you can't really get him into a lot of cool poses. Okay, and then here's Boba Fett. This one's probably my favorite so far out of the bunch. So I like the green color. They did a black wash over the top, so you can tell to make it look a little aged and old, right? So which looks pretty good. So I'm not sure why it's not, there we go. Yeah, it's funny, it's having a hard time. There we go. Okay, so really cool black wash there. They did silver paint on it to make it look old and weathered, or sorry, damaged, which is cool. So same thing with the front there. You got the maroon, which looks really nice, but it's all black wash to look old, which I think is really, really good looking. You have this thing here, which is cool. So it's articulated forward and back, which is neat. Did the same thing with the outfit here. So you got that cool dark green color. You have lots of chips and stuff that look nice. The yellow looks really, really good. I love that. Cool symbol on the side. Got a lot of the silver showing. Looks good. They did a black wash on the belt, which looks good. Did a wash on the pants to make it look, same thing, old and weathered. Yeah, overall, this one, they just did a really good job on it. It has flames that kind of come out of the gauntlet, which look nice. Cool little sniper rifle, little weapon there. And then, of course, you got the famous jetpack there. Looking good. So I think this one's definitely the one that sticks out the most. It's probably the best one they've released so far. Which, like I said, I'm kind of surprised. So for them not to start off with like a Darth Vader or one of the really, really popular ones is kind of surprising to me. However, Darth Maul is one of my favorite characters, so I like it, although this one was definitely let down with the hindered articulation. But overall, I mean, they look good. So if you're looking for some cool Star Wars figures, I'm sure you can find these still on eBay. The Chewbacca, if you check your Disney store, which is where I bought mine, you can definitely get it there, which is cool. So, yeah, so final thoughts on Chewbacca. So I'd say it's okay. If you're not a fan of Chewbacca, I'd say this isn't one that you necessarily need to pick up. It's going to look good with your figures if they do release like a Han Solo or something like that. It makes good. It's going to be good as far as like a statue piece, being able to stand behind and look good. The articulation is a little hindered, unfortunately, in some of the sizes, right? So I'm trying to think of the word right now, but the anatomy is a little off, unfortunately. But overall, it looks good though. So they did a great job on the paint application and sculpt per usual. But that's kind of like the only flaw, in my opinion, is the articulation piece. So perfect. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Appreciate the support. Like and subscribe, and I'll keep bringing reviews, customizations, etc. To you all. So thank you all again, and I'll catch you all in the next video.